Hey guys, welcome back. So we left off with insanely Luke. So we're gonna go from there. So insanely Luke is another tower I feel like could be quite good, but I haven't found a build that complements with it yet. He does get stronger the more waves he does, and his ability increases more damage when you upgrade it more. If I had to be really nitpicky at the minute, I would say he's probably better in normal runs than he is endless runs, but that's just my opinion. But saying that, I wouldn't really invest in him at the minute. DL Drace Darius. I think that's how you pronounce it, Darius. DL Darius is quite good. I don't know if he's been nerfed yet, but once he kicks the boss, he actually knocks him back very far, and his ability is actually fairly short. So he actually is quite good, only for bosses really, if I had to be really nitpicky, but saying that, he is a great toy to use for normal runs. I wouldn't say he's more endless runs, but for normal runs he can be quite good. Okay, Quenty is one of those toys that I still don't understand why this hasn't been upped in value yet, because Quenty is so overpowered and it's actually a lot better toy than people think it is. And his cannons are so overpowered that it's just game breaking really. Like, you can do crazy damage just with these cannons without even having him in range to attack as well, and I feel like he should be higher, like 400 or something, because he's actually a very strong tower considering how cheap he is, and even the upgrade costs I would say is pretty fair for him, to be fair. But yeah, definitely a toy I would recommend going with, and a lot of people will use this toy. If I had to be nitpicky again with Quenty, I would say he's more of a normal running and endless runner. But that's just my opinion. Now, Wish Z apparently got nerfed due to how much score it was giving in Endless last season. It actually still does very well in Endless mode. You will do crazy amounts of damage with it if you invest in it enough, but the score won't be as good if you do that. He can actually just knock off enemies without even trying, and even when the toy gets stunned it will continuously attack once you have upgraded it enough in endless mode, and can be quite good for endless mode. I would say it's more of an endless mode than a normal runner, but that's only because of its ability, and it's dead cheap as well. The arm dealer, I never ever see anyone use this. I feel like this needs a complete new rework as well. It could be good. I mean, it does give damage 30% for any toy that's teleported, but even then, I don't think it's worth it, to be quite honest with you. Now, I don't know if this ability's been changed, but obviously, as you can see, when you upgrade this more, it gives you 20 plus more damage, and I think that's per upgrade, I think, so it could be potentially good, I think, but I don't know, because I never do use this. I feel like the pricing as well is very fair for that toy. I need to do some more tests with this, and then I'll let you know down the line if this is a good toy to invest in, but at the minute I'm not entirely sure this is worth investing in. Okay, dudes are very overpowered. This is basically the new evil artist, basically. If you stack these enough, they do crazy amounts of speed that is unreal. Literally, it's probably one of the best towers I like using, in my opinion. And it can be quite good, only for boosting situations though. And I would say this is more of a normal running than a endless runner for achievements wise. As you know, on my super heroic strat, I use Do's and T's for the final boss, and that's the only way you can beat it. Okay, Eric is one of those wild cards again for me. I feel like his upgrade ability needs to be changed or something. I think it needs to have 0.2 speed increase, and then increases its damage by 0.5 or something, because when you try and invest in this toy, all it does is increases its speed by crazy amounts, but yeah, it does nothing to the enemies when you're trying to deal like really high amounts of enemies. His ability though, I think it's broken, because every time you upgrade this more, his ability gets stronger. So I'm not sure if there's like a hidden like thing underneath the speed. I don't know, but it's kind of weird. I had to explain that. But if I had to be really nitpicky, I would say early gamers would probably go with this more than anything. I'm not an endless runner again. Okay, FF Bandit I know used to be quite good for endless run to deal ×2 damage, because his ability is shortened every time the more you upgrade it, and when you do that it will just basically chuck his knife ability like continuously at the enemies, and it can be quite useful in situations where you need to do ×2 damage. Not a normal runner though, but can be potentially a endless runner if you have the right build for it. And the pricing as well is fairly cheap for this toy. Now, the heroes, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like these need either more hero toys out there to compromise with this one, or they need to like fix them or something. Now, when you stack these will give you an extra 20 speed, but you have to have enough to deal enough speed, if that makes sense. I think the other one gives you 20 damage, I believe. This one gives you 20 speed, but the other one gives you 20 damage. This toy can be good only if you upgrade it, but even then the range is pretty bad on it, and I wouldn't say it's really investing in, personally, regardless how cheap it is. With that being said, not really a toy I would say it's worth investing in at this moment of time. Okay. Muriel is actually a very, very overpowered and strong toy. This toy is probably one of the best toys I've ever used for damage wise. I used to overlook this toy a lot until I started using it more. The only reason I say this toy is very overpowered is due to its grapple hook ability that gives you damage 100% for 5 seconds. So once you upgrade this enough for endless, say if you had that on 80 damage, you would do 160 damage per hit. And it is quite good if you think about that, because the ability as well is very, very short. And it's quite a quick cooldown, so it can be good if you have the right ability, but overall I would say not a toy at the minute, or it's one of those toys that borderline that could be good but not quite there yet. Okay, OBC Builder is quite an overpowered toy only once you upgrade it, just due to the wrench ability of stunning enemies. Overall, I would say his damage sucks in this toy. His ability is very, very quick though, so he's a very good stunner. But if I had to be really nitpicky, I would say this toy is probably best suited for normal runs again, not endless runs. Okay, the Explorer. Explorer, at the minute, I would say is not a good toy. This toy needs a rework or something. It could be better, in my opinion. The upgrades I do like, it can be quite good. It's basically a bit like the Maetas, as it gives you another goblet that you can attack with after one of another if you keep upgrading it. But with that being said, I would say it's not really a good toy to go with for either normal or endless. Okay, so we're coming up to Apprentice now. We're almost there on the last amount of toys. Apprentice is actually a very good toy to go with for certain strats. You can do speed runs with this. Obviously, it won't be as fast as my speed run because I know what people use this for on a particular speed run. But you will do an easy game with this in 8 minutes. But you might just get slightly more tickets from doing that than my quicker speedrun. These are only effective once you stack them enough so you can get red rat to stack. The pricing is very cheap again on this. I really do like this toy a lot. Okay, so we got to boy guests now. Boy guests are still very broken in my opinion. And especially how cheap they are, they just dominate the whole track so easily. I know you probably don't believe me on that, but if you have enough of these toys, they actually do very, very well together, and it complements the amount of damage it does. And plus, the more you stack them, the more these increase by 3 damage as well per hit. So it is quite good, and they're cheap as well. With that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll come back with the final part now on